feel like I lack a lot of consistency in my life. I feel like at certain points I'm very adamant on something. Some points I'm very, motivated to do something. Some points I'm very integral. I feel like I'm on, and sometimes I don't feel like I am, and sometimes I'm locked, and sometimes I'm not. So what I really mean in kind of like a broader term is that I've never really had a long-term consistent self-improvement journey, if that's the right word. Now I go to the gym. I've been going for the gym for like 3 years, and that's the one thing I've been very consistent on, and I have not really stopped. But even then, recently I just have not been in the gym. I haven't, been making videos as much as I normally should. I just feel like I'm almost a fraud sometimes, and I feel like I don't really deserve a lot of what I've gained in terms of like social media and other aspects. I feel like a lot of things I've done are merely out of in the moment motivation, that 3 a.m. motivation. And it feels like I don't really have integrity. I see people making businesses and, growing numbers. And the thing is, if I really had the motivation, I really had like the desire to, I could make a business. I could do these things, but I don't have a reason behind it. And some things I do have a reason. Going to the gym, I didn't want to be, made fun of when I was a little kid. Because I would get called skinny all the time, and I wanted to prove everybody wrong, and that's really a big part of it. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. That was a very, 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 very big part of it. People call me weak all the time. I got called a pussy to my face by some dude on my rowing team, and I don't know. That really stuck with me for a long time. That comment that guy made, and a lot of it kind of pushed me to get in the gym and to stay in the gym and to get bigger and to prove everybody wrong. And honestly, I feel like that's the one thing in my life I earned. I really earned that. And like I said, I feel like a fraud sometimes. I feel like I'm undeserving of the things around me. And many people have told me that I am, and I can believe them. And I can be proud of things that I've built. I can be proud of this social media platform that I've built on Instagram, TikTok, and whatnot. And even YouTube, I've gained like 500 subscribers in the past like week. It's awesome. But at the same time, I feel like I don't deserve it. I feel like a lot of my success has just been luck. And has it been luck? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say whether or not it has been luck because I don't know. A part of me says that yeah, it was all luck and that you just came in at the right time, wrong person, right time. Um, I feel like that with a lot of things in my life. I feel like a lot of the good grades I made in high school were not mine. I feel like I didn't really deserve it. I feel like everybody works harder than me, and I feel like I was given almost a silver spoon when it comes to school. I mean, I got into a good college, but I'm not paying for it right now. My parents are. I feel like I don't deserve it, and I don't know. I just feel like I don't deserve a lot because I'm not consistent. I feel like I have the privilege, but I don't have the right. And a part of me, and I know this sounds like weird, but like a part of me kind of like wishes I had it harder sometimes. Like not saying I definitively want it harder because there's gonna be many people who disagree with that, and I disagree with it as well. But at points in my life, I kind of like said, "Oh, I wish I came from the trenches. I wish I came from the slums, and I built my way up." But I didn't. I really just didn't, and that's what makes me feel like a fraud. I feel like I should have been at a point where I had to dig myself out of a hole. I had to get the rocks off of me and build my way out and whatnot, but that's not my story, and I have accepted that. And I feel like if you're watching this and you feel like you don't deserve a lot of things because you've never really worked hard for them, or you don't feel like you worked hard for them, look back on the things that you have done. Look back on the things that people have given you the accolades for. Ask people around you. Ask people, do you think I deserve this? And ask them to go into detail. Go into detail by like with yourself. I mean, do you feel like you are deserving of that love? Do you think you're deserving of that relationship? Do you think you're deserving of that promotion at your job? Do you think you're deserving of that job? Do you feel like everything was handed to you? Do you feel like you don't really have a come up story? Because that's how I feel. And it sucks because, like, yeah, there's a lot of people that want to be in my position, but I'd rather be working on something and eventually get it with trial and error and a lot of time than be proud of nothing. And a lot of the reason I don't really get excited for things, maybe graduation awards that I receive, maybe like gifts and whatnot. It's because I feel like I don't deserve any of it. I have this like low self-esteem, you know, and I feel like I don't deserve what people do for me. I feel like I don't deserve gifts. That's why I don't get excited. I just like people when I receive a gift from somebody and I don't really have a reaction, I just kind of say thank you and I don't really show that much of like physical and verbal gratitude in the moment. It's not because I'm not grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it and I feel like this is the, you know, I love the gift that you got me. It's just I feel bad. I feel guilt for receiving the gift. I feel like why did you waste money on me? You know, like why did you do that? You didn't need to do that, but I really appreciate it. And I mean, like I can't really say that in the moment. That's gonna sound really rude, you know. Even after this whole like rant that I've made, I can say I have a purpose. I can say I have something I want to strive for, and that's helping people. That's helping the general public. It's helping people who have gone through loss, have gone through heartbreak and things that I've gone through, so that I can help people not feel alone. That's my goal. That's my purpose. And I think that's why I was put here is to help people not feel alone. And I'm not doing it because I want the accolades or I'm not doing it because I have a savior complex. I don't want to ever live in a world where there's someone like me. You know, I don't want to live in a world where someone could be at a point where they're miserable mentally like I was. I don't want anybody to feel like that. And that's my goal. That's what I want to do. See my future. That's what I see myself doing long term. Whether it be public speaking, medical field, et cetera, et cetera. I want people to just love themselves. They are more than what someone that hurt them makes them out to be. You know. That's why I don't really take a lot of brand deals. I mean, yeah, I'll do a sponsorship because it's nice having money. It's nice getting money on social media. But I'm gonna be very honest. I don't make barely any money on social media. I've made maximum within the past like year, maybe like $1,000. That's it. That's all I've made. And a lot of that went towards savings or, you know, I was stupid and I spent a lot of it on clothes, but I stopped doing that about the second month I was into social media. But I don't know. I don't really make that much. You know, I mean, if I have $1,000 annual salary from social media, at the same time, I don't really care. You know, I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for brand deals. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for, you know, the people in general. It's not like, oh, I'm doing it for the love of the game. I'm doing it for the love of others. I want you to know you're not alone because that has so much weight to it. Knowing that you're not alone and someone can say the things that you've been thinking, but in words, and you don't have to hold that in your entire life. That means a lot to people. People just want a voice, and I want to be that voice. That's it.